Oh my God, he bought a monster truck. Roll over their asses. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are here with the season finale of Echo. We're now into episode 5, which is called Maya. Finally, we've gone down the line of all the ancestors and we are at Maya. So the last episode, we had the face-off between Maya and Kingpin. They finally talked it out. And it was a little tense the entire time because Maya didn't know what Kingpin was up to. But Kingpin made the offer to Maya that he wants to forgive everything and that he wants to give her an empire and basically continue to mold her in his image. The only thing she has to do is come back home with him to New York. No questions asked. He didn't really tell her what would happen if she said no, but I think we can all infer what that might mean. And in the meantime as well, she got to finally talk to her grandmother. This was triggered because Maya had another vision like the one she's been having since episode 2, but this was by far the most intense of the visions that she's had. It actually put her into a waking dream state. And anyways, in talking to her grandmother, she found out that her grandmother has similar visions and that the last time she had one like that, it was when she gave birth to Maya's mother. And then she kind of gave a whole explanation around how she basically feels like her ancestors have protected her. Like she did that on the day that she gave birth to what was her name? To Loa, because that was the life or death situation. And then she explained to Maya that the ancestors tend to reach out to them when they need it most. And anyways, they ended up having a good heart to heart about what happened all those years ago when they got separated. Grandma finally admitted to the fact that she was very hurt and upset, and that was part of the reason she pushed Maya away. And Maya got to vent some of the hurt and disappointment she had over that situation. Things didn't necessarily end on a happy note, but I think that they at least got to a point where reconciliation is possible. So we ended the episode, however, with Maya packing up and leaving Tamaha, and that was not what she was supposed to do. Apparently for Fisk, she was supposed to show up on his private plane and fly back to New York with him. He did not look at all happy that she did not do that. So it looks like things are going to be on like Donkey Kong, because I think all bets will be off because Fisk is not one who likes to be denied, and we don't really know where Maya's going or what she's up to now. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how we're going to wrap this up. So let's jump into the episode. Just before we do, however, just a reminder that I do reactions on this channel to all sorts of good stuff, and I would love to have you join the family and hit that 20K mark this year. That is my goal. So if you'd like to support me, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and please show some love to this video with some thumbs up and comments if you are feeling it. Okay, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. Oh, it's just getting into it. Feel like watching some hoop dancing now. We do not have woodpeckers where I live, and I'm kind of glad because I think that would drive me insane. Maya! Well, she's always been a little killer. Starts with taking out animals. Maybe her and Fisk are more alike than I thought. Poor bird. Exactly, liar. You did. Say that to the bird. You can find non-living targets. Not her mom being an Avenger. Okay, so when her grandma said she was a healer, she meant healer. So she could call on that whenever she wanted. So you're telling me healer couldn't heal thyself that night? So her mother knew about that ability. I wonder if her father knew about it, or how many people knew at all. Was she a mutant? Is Maya a mutant?
Radiant as the sun.
My goodness, he must love you a lot.
Oh, what can I do you for?
Literally or figuratively.
Yeah, I didn't put it up for sale.
Why?
Because it's from you, dummy.
Well, when you brought it in, I cleaned it, oiled it. You come back for it. I just had to wait.
Come back for your husband. That's soulmate stuff right there, when someone waits for you when you're the one who pushed them away in the first place. But I guess he understands. Losing a child is very difficult. Very few couples survive it.
I haven't seen you around before. You here for the powwow?
Yes, you could say that.
You sign?
I try for my niece.
Oh,
Do you?
I keep it up now for my granddaughter.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, tell me about her.
Her name's Maya. She just comes in.
You sneaky man. One thing I didn't mention last episode was that Maya mentioned that Fisk never took the time to learn to sign, and that was something that to her meant he didn't really care. And it hit me that it's really important because it's unfortunate, but most children who are born deaf into hearing families, that the vast majority of them unfortunately usually don't learn sign language, which is saddens me. When I heard that statistic, my heart broke a bit. But apparently, it is much more rare, Maya's situation, where everyone around her learns sign language. It's almost always the case, if they're the only ones who are deaf, that they are the ones who learn, if they even get to learn at all. So I understand where Maya's coming from, but I don't think she even recognizes how fortunate she is. Oh, she said goodbye to the lens. But yeah, I don't think she realizes how fortunate she is to have the family that she did. It just hit me that that lens might actually have a tracker in it, so it's a good thing she got rid of it.
Slip thingy to put up on your dash, because otherwise, if not, then the power.
Bless you. At least he didn't hurt you. So Fisk is going to take it out on everybody. Sounds about right. Why else would he come here? Mm-hmm. And now she sees the outfit, right? Oh, well, and her. Healing her heart. Oh, back to the most hurtful night ever. Echo. And that's how she got her superhero name. Ah, is that what it's called with her hands glow? The fire? I mean, lately, yes, but yeah, you're gonna have to fight at this point, sis, because Fisk will never stop chasing you, and he's got the money to chase you forever. I love how this speech has like the inspirational music, but none of it was said with words. That's just a beautiful combination. Can you air hug a ghost? No, I guess not. It's very pretty. Ooh, the shoulder pads. Hand carved by your own grandma. That's gorgeous. Beautiful artwork. I need to go to one of these things. I would buy stuff. We do have indigenous stuff here as well. Just obviously it's different depending on which tribe you're dealing with. It must have been so fun for these extras too to get a chance to put on all this traditional gear and be able to show it and know that it's going to be seen the world over. Like for real, because they are indigenous people. That culture is one that has been so diluted over the years, and not because of their own fault, just because of their history. So I love that there's been so much more of a revival of showcasing their culture and really getting the world to see it, because it's so beautiful and so unique. Wow. You're just going to take out everybody here, huh? A bunch of innocent people. And this is exactly why you are nothing, Fisk. Oh, look at Maya. She just slipped in like a ninja. This field looks a lot like the one they played that ancient game on. Is it just me? Heartbeat synchronizes with the drum beat. That's cool. This man, again, why? What bothers me about this is that Maya's gonna have to do all this fighting, and it looks like Fisk has Bonnie and her grandma, so that's gonna be his trump card in the end. Because we all know that man never fights fair. Nope, the bird's telling you where to go. Imagine if it was the same bird that she hit with a slingshot all those years ago. The bird's like, you and me, we got beef. Gonna peck you in the forehead.
Biscuit, it's about to get dangerous. Do you have a gun or a weapon? I got something even better.
Which is? I'm scared. Although we know it's biscuits, he probably has something really random, like a Gatling gun or something. I don't know. All I gotta say is that if you roll up on Fisk again this time, you need to take out the kneecaps, at least. Kneecaps! Immediately! Then the dick. Bring them out, boys. I want to show you how tough I am. I wouldn't go hand to hand with him. He's really strong. You recognize him? Period. Who are you? You got nothing but your bald head. Oh, there we go. Wow. These people didn't deserve it. This is a white man who was about to annihilate a bunch of indigenous people. Maya said, oh, not today. That's right, bunch of strong women behind her. You ain't never seen a woman like this before. Oh, wow, she's giving it to everybody. Yeah, you in the world of the Avengers and you actually thought, Fisk? You actually thought? You should know better. This is not no Daredevil, okay? This ain't no machismo. Oh my God, he bought a monster truck. Roll over their asses. That's right. She's like, I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm loving it. That's right, to the beat of the ancestors. Do something about that, man. Bro, you cannot miss. If there's ever been a day for you to be accurate, it is today. Don't miss.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh God, he still shot it.
Fireworks show in the house tonight.
Where are you, Fisk, you little bitch? Where are you? One-on-one. That's right. That enlarged heart of yours. Not her sending him right back to his trauma. This is why I said hell hath no fury, because Daredevil just wanted to whoop his ass, which, I mean, he deserved. But a woman goes deep. It's deep cut. She said childhood trauma. Childhood trauma. Forever stuck in that. Oh, she's actually trying to heal him? Wow. That's love. But he's already so evil that I suppose any more evil would be bad. Yeah, no. Can Kingpin really be Kingpin without the anger? That's the question. Never mind. Go home.
What did you do?
Go cry. You need therapy, clearly. Actually, no. You'd probably take out the therapist. Now y'all show up. Well, I think Fisk is going to stay back for a minute because that's going to keep him messed up for a minute, which I like. I don't know. I guess I get why Maya didn't want to be mean about it, but I just feel like she should have just left him in a prison of his own mind for a while. You know, it's the least he deserves. Oh, that bird came back, hon. It came back waiting for its revenge. Look at all of this indigenous music I'd never even heard of before this show. Is she gonna leave without saying goodbye again? That is gonna be a story to tell for a long time. When I took the monster truck and I ran over the bad guys. Oh, she came. Good for her. See, you don't need that stinky old bald man. You got family right here. And that's it. Our deep gratitude to the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma for their collaboration on this series. Awesome. Oh, there's more. Hold on.
There are legitimate problems in the city right now.
Oh, his precious city.
Bare knuckle brawler would do well in this race.
Really?
Somebody who is not afraid to take on the establishment.
You are singing his song right now. Guess we know the next step in this journey.
That's what the poll is telling us. It could be anybody's race.
Anybody? Great. Another criminal in office. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that was the final episode, and I think it was a really good wrap up to this series. I mean, it was quite short. 5 episodes is not very long, and I think this was actually the shortest episode of the season, but I think it did what it needed to do. It really kind of bookended this chapter between Maya and her association with Kingpin or his organization. And I think it ended it in like kind of the only way that it could while allowing Kingpin to still exist. I mean, we all knew, at least I should say, I knew that Kingpin would at the end of Hawkeye, I knew that he was going to survive because Kingpin still needed to be around for the Daredevil storylines. But I think that this was a good way to have Maya do a few things. One, that she's reconciling herself with her past. I don't think she was ever running away from her indigenous side, but she definitely felt disconnected from it because that connection was definitely through her maternal line. And because her grandmother had put up that wall between them when she was a child, and then she was off with her dad, who, from our understanding, was of Latin descent, he really didn't have the same ties to her past that way. And of course, because of the disconnect between him and her grandmother, I don't think he was necessarily all that keen on embracing anything to do with that side of the family either. So Maya really kind of distanced herself from that and didn't really get a chance to keep connected with that. And she needed her family because they were obviously a huge part of her, the first half of her life, but also just part of her cultural identity as well. And I think especially for Indigenous people, and again, I can't speak for them in any way, but I'm just assuming that considering their history and the fact that so many of their traditions and lands and even people were diminished so much in the past, that I think that that history now is so much all the more precious to them, all the more important for them to keep and continue and perpetuate, especially because I look at, like, as a Black person, obviously there has been a disconnect between myself because my family, we're from the Caribbean. So it's like we don't have that direct connection to our African ancestry. And again, I mean, we're not just African either. Being from the Caribbean, we are a mixture of a lot of things. But, I believe I am more Afro than not. And there is that disconnect. But even though I don't have that connect to my family, Africa still exists and the country still exists. And I could still go there and, thanks to DNA tests, I could go there and actually learn about these cultures. I still have the access to that and that history. Whereas with Indigenous people, North America is their history. This is their home. And a lot of their history was erased and taken out and taken away from them. And, what they've got left, as I said, I feel like it's so much more precious because there is nowhere else for them to get it outside of themselves and what they've preserved. So I can see why it'd be so important for Maya and her character, to have that reestablishment to her history and her past. And we saw that beautiful conversation between her and the spirit of her mom. And her mom, I love that, we saw that her mom actually had the ability to heal, which, as I said, in this Marvel world, there's so many things. Like, because of the nature of this show, we'll say it was most likely due to an indigenous type of ability that she might have had. But because this is the Marvel universe, it also could mean that she was a mutant and that the whole line of her family were. We don't know. There's just so many possibilities. But anyway, the point is she could literally touch things and heal them. And understandably, this is not something I think that anyone outside of the family knew. But we see that when Maya had this conversation with her in this episode, I really love the moment where her mom took her hands and did the same healing over her heart and said, "It's time for you to heal." Because Maya's heart's been broken for so long, from the moment her mom died to all the years that followed, and then her father's death on top of that, and then finding out her father figure was not who she thought. So you get it. Like, it's just been heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak with Maya, and she's been in pain for so long. And much like Fisk, she's been just channeling it through violence and anger. And her mom basically said, "It's got to stop. Like, you need to let the pain go. It's not serving you. It's not helping you, and it's hurting people around you." And we heard Maya say that, that's the reason I'm leaving, is because I bring pain. I bring, all this terrible stuff wherever I go. And her mom had to explain to her that it wasn't her that was bringing all those things. It was the pain, that anger, that burning kind of hatred she had for all the things that hurt her. That's what was bringing all the negativity and bringing all that negative energy to herself and the people around her, and keeping her distance from the people that she loved. And then I really loved that her mom was like, "We are still here with you. You have all these things." And then she mentioned all these traits that the ancestors we've seen throughout the stories have passed along to her. Like she said, strategy, strength, love, I can't remember what the first one was, but yeah, all these things. She's like, these all live in you because we all live in you. And so we can support you and give you that strength when you need it. But you have to like let us in, basically. Stop trying to go with this alone because you're not. No one can go in this life alone. We can't do it. So really beautiful speech there and a really good way to correlate all that we've seen in the episodes up until now and the backstories and how they correlate into what we see in these episodes, in this final one especially. And so we see that she then tells her, you know, the outfit, it's all representative of all the lines of her heritage and all the things that feed into who she is as a Choctaw warrior woman. And so, yeah, we saw her wear the outfit. As I said, I knew she was going to wear the outfit. I really like how they brought that outfit in as well. I think it's nice when they add a story to the costumes when these characters get them. And then we see that she goes to the big powwow. And unsurprisingly, Fisk didn't get what he wanted. And as I said last episode, if he really loved Maya, he would have let her go. But she didn't do what he wanted. So he threw a fit. And he did exactly what I expected. He grabbed the people she cared about, and he actually planned on not only taking them out, but taking out everybody in that community. Which, you know, in the episode, as I said, it's a little the symbolism of a white man trying to wipe out a bunch of indigenous people. Not great. But anyhow, that aside, we see that he tried once again to basically punish Maya. I think he was trying to get her to do what he wanted in the first place, which was beg for forgiveness, beg for mercy, anything. Feed that ego, that scared little boy that still lives inside of him and needs validation through fear. But Maya just basically said, nah, like, I'm not doing it. Like, you're not my family. You never were. Not in that way. Like, this is my family. This is my heritage. This is what you tried to isolate me from. And now I realize I need them and I'm connected to them and I'm going to continue on through them. They're my legacy, as she said, and you're not. And that's something that Fisk really does not have, right? That's something that in the Daredevil series, they touched on the fact that Fisk is aware of the fact that he doesn't really have anyone or anything to pass this on to. And maybe that's why he was so intent on having Maya. We finally get Fisk saying what he didn't want to admit and what he was skirting around last episode, which is that he in fact did have her father taken out and that it wasn't some accident or some misunderstanding. He meant to do it. So again, Maya knew that, but to hear him finally say it, that was kind of a victory for her, honestly, because he was really trying to play that manipulation game and he lost. But anyway, we see that Maya called on the power of Grayskull as she needed. When Fisk tried to, of course, have her subdued and then make her watch as her family would have been taken out. But she turned the tables. And not only did she try to do it on her own, I really like that instead of her just using that for herself, she gave it to her grandmother and her cousin. She gave the power to the women. She shared it, aka she realized she didn't have to do this alone, which is what she would have done in the past. So between the three of them, those men didn't know what was coming. She took them all out. And then we saw that he was actually going to go and get physical. It looked like he was going to do like a gorilla smash. But my girl hit him with that 1-2 voodoo right in the chest. And I don't know, I guess she could have stopped his heart, but she didn't. And then we see she got up here. And as I said, I kind of hoped that she had messed with him, you know, bringing him back to the source of what he is today, that unhealed childhood trauma of living in an abusive household, listening to his mom being abused, being emotionally and verbally abused by his father. That scared little boy still lives inside him. And I think the representation that they did of that, of him in that room, crying maniacally out of fear, listening to his dad screaming and banging on the wall. That is, I think, just a great representation of what lives inside of Fisk beneath the layers of anger and hate and violence that he's built up around it. And she basically said to him, like, this is the problem. Like, here's the source. Just like Maya's mom brought her back to the source of where her broken heart started, which was that accident. She brought Fisk back to the source of his trauma and was like, I'm trying to heal you here. Like, make a different decision. Instead of picking up that hammer, just give it to me. And instead, let's leave. Like, you don't have to stay here. Let's go. And we hear Fisk, he's resistant to it. And he says to her, I'm not going to be who you want me to be. I'm not who you think I am. So I think it's very interesting. I think it's cool. And like, I understand it, I guess is the best way to say it. Fisk, when someone wants to heal, they have to want it. And I get it, because even though Fisk absolutely needs to heal from that, he has to want to. And you can't push somebody to heal, even if that's the right thing to do. For him, the idea of letting the hammer go meant losing control again. And that's really what I think is Fisk's biggest fear, is losing control and being that scared person who doesn't have control over his body or his life, or, his safety. And so he wasn't ready to let go. Like what he's built is what he thinks he needs to stay safe when he never felt that way as a child. And so anyway, he wasn't ready, but we see Maya basically had to let him go because if he doesn't want to, she can't make him. But she shook him to his core, like to his core, because I'm sure he has not felt that level of fear since he was very young. And he just kept asking, as we saw, like, what did you do to me? How did you do that? And she was just kind of like, sir, get in your vehicle and leave. So his people took him. And I think at this point, whatever she did was enough for him to not go after her directly anymore. It solved Maya's problem for now. Fisk, I think, is going to leave her be. As long as she doesn't come for him directly anymore, I think he's just going to be like, Maya's just a lost cause as far as I'm concerned. No one needs to know what went down. He escaped with his life. And then we saw in the end scene here, he is now looking at becoming the mayor, which completely makes sense because he is obsessed with this idea of protecting New York in the way that he thinks it needs to be protected. So what better way than to be in a position of power that will also allow him to continue a lot of his shady stuff without anybody interfering. So yeah, really good wrap up. Like I said, a lot of deep stuff that was in this episode, which I think they covered quite a bit considering it was a shorter episode. The fight scene was not necessarily as big, I think, as it could have been for a finale, but considering what we were leading up to, I think we had enough. We had the fun moment too with the monster truck and biscuits. I thought that was a cute little side moment. But yeah, all in all, I think one of my favorite parts, honestly, too, is just the scenes that they gave us of the powwow as well, showcasing that indigenous culture, the Choctaw culture, I'm assuming is what it was. That was really cool that Disney gave them the opportunity to express this and show it, like I said, on a forum that's going to be seen around the world. So that was really cool. But yeah, all in all, this is a really fun series. I think it was great. It gives us a nice little rounded spectrum of this character. I'm not exactly sure how she's going to fit into the MCU going forward or if she's going to be in it. I think she will be. I think I heard that she's going to be part of Daredevil when the Daredevil series comes out. I don't think she's going to be a major part of it, but all the same, I really think this actress did a great job. And I loved, as I said in the beginning, that an actress who is deaf was given the ability to have a role like this that was a fully rounded, fully actualized character role that didn't really make her deafness anything other than just a part of who she is and express her world in a respectful way. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good series, a really quick watch, a fun one. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what else we'll see Echo in the future. I don't know if we're going to get another season. My guess is probably not, but I do think we'll see her again, and I do look forward to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this series along with me. If you did, please show some love. And if this is all that you watch from me, then I hope that you find something else in my catalog that catches your eye so you can stay with me and continue enjoying these videos. And if you do watch other things from me, then I will see you in the next one.